Yo, what up people, and welcome to another vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about my career in international student services, but before that I wanted to do just a mini get ready with me vlog so you can see how busy and crazy it is on Monday morning here at our house. So hope you guys are excited to learn more about what I do for my day job, and I can't wait to share that with you in just a moment.
You want to wear this holiday sweater? Or this Christmas? You want Christmas tree? Alright, Mills. Let's get dressed.
Can you take a picture of these?
On your wrist. They are. Just take your time, okay? Well, we don't have goldfish. Remember I told you. We have pretzels. Would you like pretzels? Baby.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. I just dropped Amelia off at school. I'm trying to take this coat off. It's not comfortable to drive with a coat on. Just dropped Huy at the train, Amelia at school. Now I'm getting ready to head off to work. So for today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about my job because I feel like not many people know what I do for a living. And so yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that all throughout the day while I vlog my day. So it's Monday morning, which is always a busy morning, trying to get everybody out the door, but we're on the way. So I'm gonna go, I think, stop in Starbucks and then head over to the office. Thanks, you too. I walked all the way to my office, all the way up to the 3rd floor, and then realized I forgot my camera in the car, so I just had to run back, and it's raining and it's cold, and I did not want to do that, but hi. Miraculously, it's not raining, and it's now sunny, even though it was like just raining. It's very weird weather. So yeah, I am going to introduce my job today. So I am an international student advisor at Rutgers University, which means that I work in higher education, and I am, I guess they call it student-facing services. So I meet with students one-on-one and in groups, and my job as an international student advisor is kind of twofold. So first, I need to be educated on the legal requirements of students who are holding an F1 visa and studying abroad in the United States, so that I can maintain their legal status through this system called SEVIS. SEVIS is the Student Exchange and Student Exchange Visitors Information System. So basically, I have to update anything that they do. So when they get here, we put that they arrived so that the US knows. It's basically a way for the government to track students, which started after 9/11 because you know, the terrorist attacks. I think some of the people who committed those attacks were actually on F1 visa. So before then, they didn't really track this stuff. Now it's very, like, you have to put in when they get here, you know, everything that they're doing, their address, their phone number, everything, like what they're studying, how long they're supposed to be here. So that's the first part of my job, is to know all these rules and regulations, so that way I can input all the information into the system and track the students who are here. And then the other part of my job is to meet with and educate the students. So I help to interpret the regulations to the students so that they understand what they are required to do while they're here, so that they can maintain their legal status and they won't get into trouble or get deported, meaning like in this term we would just terminate their service record and they'd have to go home. I don't think like an ICE officer is gonna come and like grab them from their apartment, but I guess it could happen because they know where they live. So that's like the main two parts of my job. So how I do that throughout the day is I have a few different things I do. So first of all is email, which you all probably, if you work, you check your email. So for me, email is a form of advising. So I get emails about, you know, from students asking questions. So instead of like meeting in an appointment, they might just send an email with their questions. So I will speak to them through emails. I also have academic units that email me asking me questions about what the students can and cannot do, especially when it comes to working, either on campus or off campus. So they'll email us and ask questions. And then, you know, the usual emails about like our team. We have team discussions on email about different cases or questions that we have, and we share like some of the information that we've researched and stuff like that. So email is the first thing. The second thing is case processing. So every time a student wants to do something, they have to submit an e-form, which is just like an electronic form on our portal. So they'll tell us like what they want. So if they want work authorization or travel signature, or they want to extend their program, so maybe their form I-20 expires, but they still need 1 more year to complete their degree program, they'll submit all the information that we need so that way we can update their program information and they can be authorized to stay another year. There's some sirens going on. So I have today 17 cases on my case tracker. Some of those are travel signatures because it's almost winter break, so students will be traveling, and anytime they travel, they get a travel signature. That's just our way of saying, yes, the student is maintaining their legal status, their address is up to date, etc. So that way when they come back to the US, the port of entry at the, I'm sorry, I'm throwing around a lot of terms. The port of entry, which is, you know, the Border Patrol officer, when they see their I-20 at port of entry, they'll say, okay, the DSO, that's me, designated school official, has signed this form I-20 saying that the student is expected to come back and continue their degree. If a student like got suspended or academically dismissed, we wouldn't sign it because they're not eligible to come back. So that's kind of what that is. It's just us saying, yes, the student has a GPA that is acceptable, all their stuff is up to date, they've been maintaining their status, they're allowed to travel back and forth, that's fine. So I have the travel signatures, I've got a couple work authorization requests, and then change of status. So change of status is when there's like a student in a different visa category and they want to change to the F, which is the student visa. Some other visa categories, students can, like, you can go to school, but you may have different regulations on that visa category. So like, for example, somebody on an F2 visa can study, but they can't study full-time. They can only do part-time. So if they wanted to go to a full-time degree program, they might want to adjust their status from F2 to F1. F2 is a dependent of whoever's holding the F1. So like, if we have a student, say a student from Korea, he's here, he's studying, he's on an F1 visa, and he wants to bring his wife or kids, his wife and kids will get F2 visa. That means they are dependent on his status. So like I said, if this wife wants to study full-time, she would need to adjust her status to F1. So that's why we have a lot of change of status. We have a lot of students who come maybe like with their parents or their spouse, and they want to actually go and study full-time. So that's that. I do all of those cases. Then I have appointments. So students can book appointments online, and this is just a one-on-one appointment, either in person or on Zoom. So today I actually surprisingly don't have any appointments. Kind of weird. I guess people are busy with finals. I usually have 3 or 4 appointments on Monday mornings, so I'm like kind of surprised I don't have anything on my calendar. So the appointments is one thing, and then in the afternoon today I have quick question advising. So this is kind of like appointments, but it's more like a walk-in appointment situation where we have a room on Zoom and within certain hours they can click into that room and meet an advisor. So for 2 hours I'll be on Zoom later today and meeting whoever comes in. Sometimes we have lots of students, sometimes we don't have many students. It all depends on the time of year, I guess, and what the problems that the students may be having or the questions. They'll come and see us. So that's kind of my day for today. I really don't have much going on. So I will be doing my 17 cases, my, how many emails do I have? And 12 emails, that's not bad. That's actually really good. I have 12 emails, I have 17 cases, I have QQA in the afternoon, and I have no appointments. And I'll be taking 2 pump breaks because I'm still pumping for Alex, so I have my breast pump here. So that's kind of the rundown of what I do at work. Alright folks, my morning power hour is complete. So I love to just like put my headphones on, get my music going, and I try to do as much as I can like early in the day, because once it's like lunchtime, I'm pretty useless, honestly. So I front load my work and I do everything as early as I can. So now I had like 12 emails, I think, when I started, and now I'm down to 3, one of which is something that I don't actually have to reply to. It's an HR thing. I have to fill out a form for my HSA. So I have to deal with that, but it's not like anything urgent. And then my cases, I actually got down to, it was at 17, now it's at 9. And I went through and checked, and most of those actually I can't do anything. So I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 cases left that I can actually take action on today. So I'm down to 3 emails and 4 cases after 1 hour of completely focused work. So that was great. And so now I'm gonna take my pump break, and then I will try and wrap up as much more as I can before lunch, because it's 11 a.m. so I'll have like this pump break, and then I'll do like another half hour or so to try and get a few more odds and ends done. Then I'll take my lunch break, and then this afternoon I've got the quick question advising session that I'll be doing on Zoom, and I'm also gonna hopefully work on some orientation stuff. So that's the plan for later. Hi there, my name is Audrey. I am a DSO at Rutgers University, and I'm calling because I have a student who did a change of status, and her change of status has been approved, but it's not showing on her CVIS record. Last name Nguyen, Nguyen. Sure, no problem. Back on hold. Hello again. There is a tree service outside my window making all kinds of noise. So yeah, I'm gonna move to this room over here, but I wanted to finish up this video because I did not film yesterday. I was so busy at work, so I literally just could not finish this. So the last thing I wanted to share, which is kind of flip-flopped, I probably should have talked about this first, is how I became an international student advisor. So it was kind of a long story. So when I went to undergrad, I studied a bachelor's in international and global studies with a minor in geography and a concentration in language and culture. What the heck does that mean? I don't know, but it was fun. So I studied abroad in China and I got my degree, and then I left and I was like, oh my god, now what am I gonna do? So I wasn't really sure. I think international student advisor crossed my mind, but I didn't really know a lot about it. So we moved to New Jersey. I was struggling to find a job. It took a few months for me to find a job, and then finally I got hired by a headhunter as an immigration paralegal. So I worked for 2 years as a paralegal doing EB-5. So EB-5 is the Immigrant Investor Program, where people overseas invest $500,000, or it might be more now, like 700,000 or something. They invest the money into a real estate project in the United States or something that would create jobs, and then they get a green card. So I did that for 2 years. I loved preparing the petitions. I am crazy about that stuff. It was literally huge stacks of paper. I had to go through and highlight all the important information and then write a narrative to accompany the application to USCIS describing how the investor got their money and how they transferred it to the investment project in the United States. Make sure it's a lawful source of funds. So it was basically he got a job here, he made this much money, he had it in his bank, he bought this property, and then he sold this property, it was appraised for this much, they got a loan, they got the money, they sent it to all these friends and family, they sent it to America, and then we sent it to USCIS. Super fun. But working with attorneys is not fun. It was 13-hour days when we had deadlines coming up. I would work weekends. I worked part of it in northwestern New Jersey, and then I ended up switching to the New York office because it was easier for me to commute. So I worked in New York City. It was really fun, but because the attorneys were so mean, I would cry at work and stuff. I decided, I was I gotta get the heck out of here. And I really wanted to be international student advisor, but all the schools were bachelor's required, master's preferred. Didn't have a master's. So off I went. Sorry, I just had to take a phone call. It was Alex's doctor's office. He has an appointment tomorrow. So anyways, I was okay, what the heck am I gonna do? I guess I have no choice but to go get a master's. So I used going to grad school as a reason to leave the law firm. I actually just really was not happy there. Besides, it's so sad because the work I loved, but the people I didn't love. So that was a problem. So I left, I went to Rutgers, Newark. I got my master's in global affairs. So if you guys been subscribed for a long time, since 2017, when I started actively being on YouTube, that's what I was doing at the time. I was a graduate student. And so I got my master's in global affairs. I did internships. I worked in the international students office my first year of grad school, just as a student helper. And it's funny because my current boss now was actually working there at the time. So we worked together there, and I looked up to her so much. She was my idol. She was just I mean, not so young, but a young mother with a family, and she was working in the field I wanted to be in, and she was very nice and patient and just a good role model. So shout out to my boss. I love you. So I worked with my boss at Rutgers Newark, and then the following year I could not do that anymore because I ended up getting graduate assistantship in housing. So I worked for housing the following year, which is when I started YouTube. But I also did an internship at this place called One to World, which is a nonprofit organization that does international student programming. They put on events in the New York metro area for international students, so schools can become a member of this organization, and then they're allowed to offer the services. I mean, the students still have to pay for tickets and stuff, but it's pretty cool. So I did that, and then after my master's I was yo, what up, Maya? Got any jobs? And so they did have a position open in Rutgers, New Brunswick. I did the interview. I was hired as an international student coordinator, which is a level below advisor. It's like the stepping stone in, where you do like the low level stuff, but you're not like a full-blown advisor. I started as a coordinator, and then I was a coordinator from August 2018 until May 2019, so not even a year. And then I was promoted to international student advisor. I was an advisor up until I left because I had Amelia. I wasn't planning to leave, but COVID and everything, so I had my daughter in January 2020, and then my maternity leave ended up being indefinite because I quit. It was really hard to quit. Like Amelia, I was supposed to go back when she was 4 months old, but my mother-in-law didn't get here in time because COVID ended up making so she couldn't get her visa. So I had no childcare, and then COVID happened. I wasn't going to send her to daycare for one thing, and I could have like attempted to work from home while taking care of her, but I decided not to. So that's when I ended up pursuing YouTube full-time and Instagram influencer, mommy blogging stuff. So I did that for 3 years, and then this year in January I found out that my friend was leaving. She was another advisor. I found out she was leaving to go work somewhere else, so her position was open. And so I reached out and I was like, you know, like I would like to come back, but I'm not ready to be like full-blown, and also I have a trip planned to Vietnam for like 5 weeks, so I don't know how it would work. And they ended up working with me because they wanted me to come back. So January I started part-time, remote, well it was like hybrid because everybody was going in, so part-time, hybrid, in, you know, it wasn't like student advisor, it was just like, I can't remember what they called it, but it was just like contractor. But I basically did the same thing anyway. So I did that to ease back into it, and then in May we went to Vietnam, and then in June, you know, we were gone until June, then July I came back and I started full-time international student advisor once again in Rutgers, New Brunswick. So that is the story of how I became an international student advisor, and honestly it was like a long journey to get to like my dream, but it really is a great field to be in. It's a great job. I love it. I love that I have a good work-life balance, especially. That's like really important to me because I like doing immigration, but in the law firm it was like non-stop, very busy, and I was like so efficient. I would get like 3 times the amount of work as the other paralegals because I was just fast and good at doing it. So they would just keep piling it on, and it got to the point where I just couldn't take it. Like it was too much. Here it's pretty relaxed. Like my boss is great, the environment is good. Like if you have to leave to take your kids to doctors or something, people are understanding and it's fine. Like I pump at work, I'm able to log off at 5 and not feel guilty. Like I can be offline at 5 and not get back online until 8:30 next morning, and it's fine. Like I just didn't want to be in a field where I didn't have like a very clear balance between work and life. And so I get all the good things, work-life balance. I get to work in immigration. I get to do the customer service part of this. The other reason I didn't like paralegal is because it was all just behind the scenes. Like I was a paralegal, I didn't meet with the clients, I just prepared their petitions and filed them. So I never saw anybody, everything was through email. So I like that when I'm doing advising, I get to meet students one-on-one and in person and on Zoom and help them. Like I actually get to make a difference on a personal level, I guess you could say, which I think that was missing for me with the law firm. So minus like the environment not being good, also I just didn't have like the interaction. Like we just interacted as paralegals on our team, but that was about it. So yeah, I love my job. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about it. I hope this wasn't a boring video, but I think, you know, as I'm like experimenting with new content and talking about different parts of my life specifically rather than everything about the kids, but more like about me. I hope you guys enjoy getting to know me a little more, and maybe you guys knew a lot of this stuff if you've been following for a long time, but if you haven't, that's the story of my career. So I'm gonna end this video. I hope you guys liked it. Give thumbs up if you did. Comment down below if you want to hear more about like similar things, or if you have more questions. If you want to be an international student advisor, you can ask questions. Yeah, I love talking about this, so I hope you guys enjoyed. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.